piano for a while.
And what got you back? What's changed?
And then at school, at a public school, I was actually a company for the school choirs. So they start asking me, "Oh, why you don't play piano anymore?" I said, "I retired." And they said, "What? 9? You got retired? Are you crazy?" I said, "Yeah, I said piano is horrible. I don't want to be a pianist." And then I got fired by my teacher, and she said I should think about other things. Piano is not my thing. And so they were starting laughing, and then someone brings a Mozart sonata, the score at the music class, and they say, "Yeah, look at this, see what you think." And then I didn't want to play, but those kids were so encouraging. They were like, "Yeah, play." And somehow I kind of, there was, if I don't play, then they will keep talking, and then they will keep pushing. And then I sat down and start playing. This was one of the Mozart sonata, the slow movement. And then I found, wow, music is so beautiful. Why should I give up? And then I'm like, yeah, screw that teacher. Let's start again.
And you did. I mean, in the end, I mean, it all came good. Like in all the best fairy stories, you and your father were reconciled. And when you went to America, you actually arranged for him, because he was a musician and had ambition too. You arranged for him to play at Carnegie Hall with you, didn't you? Yeah,
that was my Carnegie recital debut. Actually, my father played a few really big concerts. He played with me at my Carnegie Hall debut, and then he played with me on my debut recital at the Royal Albert Hall during the proms. Yeah, so, and after that 2 concerts, he's retired.
He's retired.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, that's fine. I made it." He said.
Well, let's have a look at your father, because he was a very fine musician.
Yeah, he was wonderful.
And he plays the eru, which is this one single string.
Two strings.
Oh, it's 2 strings. Yeah.
It's a difference between the Western culture and Chinese culture. Is look into. What they use in China is chopstick, so that's why this, the Chinese instrument, it only has 2 strings, and in the West it's fork. Okay, so that's why you have 4 strings on the violin or cello.
I don't believe a word of it. But let's have a look. What are you playing, by the way, with your father?
It's called a horse riding. It's kind of like competition between 2 horses.
All right, and this is 2008, and this is at the Royal Albert Hall, the proms. Let's have a look here now. Do you think, looking back now as a mature man, looking back at that point in your life, do you think you would have made it without him? I mean, was that the only way you were going to get to the top?
If you look into my background, which was born in Shenyang, which is a pretty big city in China, but not very internationally renowned at that time, and to learn Western classical music, which is the piano. And I still remember my first concert in London, and some journalists from here were asking me, why you play piano? You're from China, you should do Chinese instrument. I still remember, the first interview I had in UK, and I would say, if I was born in New York or London or Western countries, probably there will be many more possibilities to have a career. But from what I got, from my hometown, with the facilities and the environment, I think that is absolutely one of the key of success was the dedication of both of my parents.
And it was they who gave you this love of Western music.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that you raised, because it is such a different culture, isn't it? And Chinese music is so different from Western music. So from your point of view, having been introduced to it by your parents, how difficult was it for you to understand Bach, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky, Russian music, Tchaikovsky? I mean, very different from Chinese music.
Right. Yeah, exactly. When I was a kid, I actually growing up listening to Mozart, Tchaikovsky, Chopin, and Liszt, many great composers. So for me, it was kind of like my first language. So I didn't feel the barriers. But then I realized when I turned 12, I went to Germany for the first time to join the international piano competition. And I listened to other kids play from other countries. And I felt the difference. And I felt the difference of education. And I felt there's some distance. And of course, when I was 12, I don't see the big gap. But then, if I'm just keep learning exactly the same what I learned in China, it will be very difficult to develop as a mature classical pianist.
But so given all that, what do you bring to the interpretation of music? Is it different because of that background of yours, confronting this music which is from a different culture, written by Europeans and people like that?
I would say it's almost like learning language and learn history. So you need to have the environment to learn the right style, certain styles. When you have that, there's not a major difference between Asian pianists or Western pianists. If you learn, Shakespeare, you learn those great Western novels, and then you work with the great musicians from the West, and then it just then you actually get the same kind of knowledge. So when you start playing, there's not a major difference. But if you only focus on the Chinese culture, Chinese culture studies, only listen to Chinese music, and then suddenly you start playing Mozart sonata, it doesn't fit.
That's fascinating. So it's all of it, all of that cultural aspect is bound in together.
Yeah, it need to have the environment.
You also say you're going to play some Liszt now. You did say, and you say in your book, that when you think of Liszt, you think of Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
How? What's the connection there?
Yeah, Liszt was actually the first biggest music stars in the world.
Was it the first big pop star?
Yeah, he was absolutely, during his time, he's the most famous musician on earth.
What are you going to play for us now then?
I'm actually playing something that to show the other side of Liszt, which is the quiet side, not the flashy side people always know about him, and it's the romance for the piano.
It's very beautiful. Nang Nang, please stand up.